Okay. Uh, First of all, uh, I just want to say thank you, God. Thank you. I know in this moment, and I actually, it's hard to believe that as everything that's happening to me as a target individual, it's time to be like, why me, God? Right? That's what usually most would do. Or that's when you start asking why this happening to me. But I'm not saying it like that. And I'm just thankful that I didn't I didn't live this disturbing life in the sense of doing what they do. It's such an easy life in the sense that really minimal effort is needed in regard of, you just really have to minimize yourself truthfully to do what these perps do, because this program is run by governmental entities, and the sophistications, the funding, the ability of this technology, the connection, that like every these governmental entities run the world. We're talking about the Department of Defense, and this is definitely DoD related. It's definitely CIA related, and those are the entities that truly have the most influence in the world. And these perps, as much as they try to create this fantasy in the psyop, I'm not letting them go into that fantasy. Their job is to try to make me forget about reality and believe this psyop of what they've created. It's so disturbing. It gets to the point where, as a target individual, I'm the one of the target individual who, like one of many, who get this synthetic telepathy and also the V2K. And so they can influence your thoughts in so many ways. You get to the point where these perps who are contracted civilians, right? They're contracted by these governmental entities. They are employed in one way or another by these entities to to implement these tactics that have been almost handbooks of them. They are obviously supervised by those entities, or whoever is supervised them have been supervised in a way to go through this. The way they make me think, it gets to the point where they try to make me think that no, you know what, the DoD is like this client, and we are providing them the service to our clients. And it's things like that they try to get you to, because they want to detach themselves from the reality and make me see them as this unique group of people who are using this technology that somehow they came up with tactics that, even though you heard that the same tactic being implemented on others, that they have their own like, it's the delusionality that is just comical. It is truly comical. What's happening to me is not comical, but the way they want me to think is damn near comical. And the way they want to box in these fantasies, it's like, aren't you embarrassed when you even come up with these ways of wanting me to think? Don't you feel embarrassed that you want me to think that somehow this extremely sophisticated technology is coming from this rogue group of people who just happen to, this extremely well-funded program that's global, that somehow, no, it's our billions of dollars, and what we're doing, we're acquiring the result and sending it back to our client. Delusional. The reality is this DoD entities contract people to implement the program that they're funding with the technology, with their resources, and with their tactics. And then because the target individual is a human subject, is a test subject, and the test subjects need to be surrounded by people who continuously create this implement these things, and on top of that create this like psyop. And so they contract these people that takes the steps, that participate in what is supposed to be done, which is coming from these DoD entities. And so for me, it's been a lot of childlike individuals interacting, because you truly have to you have to minimize your intellect to push these gaslighting methods. You have to minimize you become like it definitely harms an adult's intellect to be this dumbed down. And you know what they were trying to create is like I was with a client, and this client create this specific product that they want to sell that to a governmental entity. And they try to make me think this technology has the ability to make you think based on what other things to dumb you down. It's obviously a massive government is running this program. The tactics, the handbooks, they are so systematic all around the world. Everybody's saying the same thing. You can see how everything is coordinated, orchestrated, and surreally similar to understand that obviously these entities are just running this program. They have a system, they partake in the same system, and they employ this individual one way or another. I don't know if they contracted. Those details is obviously things that I don't care about, but you understand they're not the one running the show. They just participate and implement these tactics. Now with me, they want me to somehow to block out, because the truth is this program is torturing not only men, women, and children. Sorry, it doesn't only torture only men, but women and children. And so they want to somehow believe, and they want me to believe, and this is never going to happen. It's going to be forced to be thought like that. They're going to send their childlike individuals. They're truly use kids because they need somebody with minimal intellect in a sense of rationality and very minimum self-respect. So a child can be now just some clown. And they want to distance themselves from the fact that this program is torturing men, women, and children. They want to distance from the fact that they torture the most vulnerable. And they want to make themselves be something unique. Deluded trash that they are, I will never let them live that fantasy. They can send them the top tier retards and go through their little scripts of things. It's not going to end well. It's not. And I've been vocal about it. I'm making sure that this PSYOP is not happening. You're working for the same entities. You're working for those entities that run this program. And you yourself, some of these people participating in my torture, themselves have hands-on torture experience of children and women. They are the same people involved in the program where they are doing the most disgusting things to women and children. There is no going around that. These pieces of shit are involved in that. I was in a call with clients, and because they're prepping this frame, and I hear this trash piece of shit of a human being. And she tried to make me believe it's going to be our arrest. Yes, it's going to be your arrest, you who torture women and children. You delusional trash if you ever think that I believe this fantasy. They have this PSYOP of this woke, like femme fatale, fierce. Like, of course it's not true. Do you know who put me in this program, first of all? You can't even say the name Roy Moore. No, you are the arrest, the one who's going to arrest me, who's going to frame me. It's the same people involved in the program of torturing children and women. But you wanted me to get lost in this deluded fantasy that you want me to believe. Death comes to all of us. This person was like, do you think I'm going to believe that anything but this mass government is running this program? That I think this is some kind of woke group? Of course it's never going to happen. And understand, the thing is, they wanted to enjoy the incentives and this feeling that they get from participating in this program, but they don't want to be attached with what comes with it. And what comes with it is to understand that as test subject, this is not only happening to just men, but even women and children are being tortured today. And so, not wanting to be attached to that, they come up with this little fantasy. No, You are involved in the same program that does these things to men and women. This mass shooting. I have pictures to always remember. When you see me, I know what you're part of. This last mass shooting is because trash like you pushed a man to lose his mind and kill 18 people, causing the largest mass shooting of 2023. I'm not an aggressive man, but if I wanted to kill, I have my chance. It's just I couldn't picture myself. I would hate myself when I love myself. It's not going to end. As a matter of fact, if I wanted to kill, it would probably be the best way to die, a non-painful way. It would be an easy way out. But me, imagine doing that to this bottom feeders, to this weak, no. I would insult myself. I would make my hands dirty for what? For this trash? This weak low life that can't even say Roy Moore? No. If I end up killing myself because I'm in pain, that's different. That's me being tortured to the point of killing myself. That's not even me killing myself at this point. It's just being killed. But me, if I'd killed this bottom feeder, how weak they are, this diluted trash, cowards as he gets. No. These piece of shits have done horrible things to some of the most vulnerable people. There's a lot of females involved in this, doing this thing to women. They are the same females doing these things to me. This fact that they wanted to live that diluted reality, never. They have disturbed. When I see this person, I try to be polite, but I don't let her escape. Women are being tortured today in the same program where they incentivize you to do whatever you're doing to me. I'm not different. I'm not any different than them. I've accepted the reality. That's why I cannot say, why me, God? Because I know that they do this to women and children. It'll be more like, why not me, God? If they can do that to women and children, why not me, God? These bottom feeders, they wanted to create this like psyops and try to vilify you. It's like, no, but what you did. It's like, trust you are here suffocating children. Yes, you involved in this program. It's not different. These things that you hear here, this woman speaking on the bioethics in 2011.
Michigan. I wanted to speak about biotechnology applications being utilized on my person. I have medical reports showing eye damage being done to my eyes. My eyes does not have a mirror image. I also have nano wiring inside my eye, once enlarging the nano right side to the chin region, implant particles. These crimes is happening in America. This is a domestic problem, not only international. As
room for others at the microphone.
But I haven't heard anyone talking of a psychotronic way.
This is what I mean. This trash do these things to men, women, and children all around the world, not just internationally, but domestically. The way they want to paint this fantasy is never going to happen. For me, the most disturbing part is when I see this is a specific characteristic, not even characteristic, this character of these women who are super like progressive looking, liberal looking, and I gotta say it, white, who have this, and not even white, but even black, but I'm saying like that persona, and they come angry, like, oh my God, And I'm like, you piece of shit, you don't know that I know what you guys do to women and children? You think I'm forgetting because I'm supposed to look at you as like, no, she wouldn't be involved in that. Yes, you're involved in that. You're an opportunist shit, and you've been exposed. And by the way, the people who put me in this program, extremely conservative. They can't get a fucking abortion in Texas because my employer and many other employers like mine, people like donate a lot of money to help that happen. My employer definitely got recognized for it. But you see this woke trash who knows all the pronouns, but involved in a program that's out here suffocating children and raping women till they kill themselves, and they'll be like, no, with you, your rage. The rage of the people who know, the rage of this women that get raped every day but trash like you. The rage of people who get their life destroyed by people like you. They are delusional. They've come up with this fantasy. It's like, we're so enraged. You're enraged. You're not enraged about that, perhaps. I'm sure this is not what causes your rage.
Experiences, including my reactions and responses, rocking, swaying, jolting. The torture was. They also often forced vaginal all over my knees and hands when hitting the hard floor. Then once on the floor, I would be attacked so severely, nearly to the point of passing out and rolling my eyes to the back of my head in such excruciating agony for many, many hours on a regular, nearly daily basis. The nature and level of extreme torture I have experienced for the past 3 years is simply indescribable. Not even the video recordings could truly capture the internal experience, especially when the torture involves both physical and mental psychological factors and the direct manipulation of my internal experiences, including my reactions and responses to the torture. The Polish Minister of Defense later retracted all his statements, denying the existence of electronic assault crimes. The nature of the torture I have been experiencing has been highly sexual in nature and highly perverted, involving many combinations of sensory and motor manipulation of my mind and body, and of the people around me. This includes many different types of zaps to varying degrees to the genitals, butt, anus, and the entire pelvic area. This also includes many kinds of movements, such as the rocking, swaying, jolting, vibrating, and shaking of my entire body or various body parts, specifically in a sexual way. The severe vibration is a highly noxious stimuli and is very intolerable. They sometimes do pulses or throbbing sensations on the genitals too, etc. There are also body movements such as rocking my pelvic area back and forth, repeated rubbing sensations, the sensation of something going up my crotch and in and out, etc. They also often force vaginal discharges and zap my genitals at the same time. These sexual assaults are present throughout the day, every day, and anytime I am awakened at night, every night. They range.
Where's the rage? They tell me, going, how do you, our rage, you're going to see our rage, you're going to be told. Where's the rage for this? No rage, huh? These clowns are fraudulent trash. And everything they can do to forget the reality of what they're part of. In every way, I've been validated that these people are the people who should ask God, why me? And that's because they found the easy way. They wanted to live that little delusional reality involving the things you cannot even imagine. What kind of rage would I have if I see somebody who's involved in this? What kind of rage would I have know they torture children? What kind of rage would I have I see somebody coward as they are, trashed as they are? They are so weak in ways you can't understand. That their weakness consists of how they still try to maintain this fierceness while doing these cowardly things and involved in a program that is doing horrible things to even babies. But want me to live in this little deluded reality now. My name is our client. Just shut the fuck up. This is a program definitely run by the government. You are just employed or contracted, or you are working with what these entities are providing you with. And it's fair that you've been exposed for what you're part of. So I see that as what it is. It's not fair for you who wanted to live your little fantasy. to wanting to lure yourself into like, no, this is what I hear. This is what I know what you guys are involved in. It's fair. Because I'm a test subject just like her. Just like this woman here.
Yes, Catherine Nestor.
My name is Catherine Nestor, and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MK Ultra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I asked Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today. There is new work for the Commission for Human Subject Protection on our shores. And please give us a dramatic response, Susan, and please give us a congressional hearing.
Now they tell me having to, to compensate for what they're part of. Because I know that this is what I mean. This is what these people are involved in. To compensate with the psyop that wanted to be presented to me, that is no longer even possible to even subscribe to it. Not even possible. In every way, it's like, this is the government doing these things to me, just like this woman. They have this trash wanting to come up with this fantasy, this little facade of like, nah, we are fantasy trash. You can't even fucking say the name of a pedophile called Roy Moore. And this is a blessing that I can say that. The way they say his name, I don't, there's time when I'm not even, they're still trying to be fierce while not saying his name. It is pathetic. Is that you want me to believe this psyop and ignore the reality that there's a system that's being, even this, in case for they try to present like, well, women, losers and weak low life.
Like an angry ass old person. Then a couple of days later, a female said the same thing. Oh, the shot in the face. Stupid shit like that. But what I really noticed is, with the voices go, it's a bunch of females. And I'm like, bro, really? You're not a woman. What real woman would stalk another female or sit back and...
This trash. And then they try to be like, no, you're not a fucking warrior. You're just utilizing this. You're just enjoying the incentive. This human subject, test subjects, weapon development is providing you. You are war reality. You are war with your fucking rationality. That's it. You see pathetic people who even say these things. The worst is when I'm on the call with some people and they don't even want to be on the camera. It's like, yo, wow, what a warrior do you? Wow, what kind of warrior? You are one extreme warrior. You're like Navy SEAL. This diluted trash. All they do is just sit there and manipulate your brain. And even when they interact with you via V2K. I'm a TI. I'm a target individual, and I deal with V2K. Voice to call is when they can project their voices onto your brain. And you hear them interacting with you. And you can even hear when they interact with you, they are using a voice. That is not a voice that they have naturally. You can hear them trying to sound hypnotic in a way. Try to sound like in just like calm, cold way. But it's forced. This person is probably the most emotional individual you know. That this person can crack down and cry in 2 seconds. But when they're talking to you, and I'm speaking specifically on those females that she describes, it's like they start talking like that. It's like, oh my God. It doesn't sound creepy. In a sense, it sounds like some childlike individual or somebody is forcing themselves to sound like that. It sounds like somebody's playing a character. And then you have the men. who sound even more idiotic. Because as bad the things I'm going to go through, it's like, yeah, you're going to be castrated. It's like, you're a grown fucking man working for pedophiles who are forcing people to think in these disgusting ways. I can never look at you. I can say 2 words and you... But in the conference, right now, those people are doing this thing to me. They're wearing sweatpants, PJs. Why would they? That's all they need to. And like, now we are, whoa, oh God. Wanting me to go into their little la-la land of a fantasy. Now, the person who put me in this program, I see his picture every day, just in case they try to take that away from me. I keep some of the recording. This is me talking to my manager from my old employer. The reason why I'm dying this way. The why of me being in this program. This is why. The reason why they're raging. It's because of this.
I don't want this small petty things makes no sense. You know, it doesn't. I want to be as productive and impactful and accept criticism without feeling there's something behind it or there's some. You know, I just want to. I'm okay. I like to be critiqued because that's how you get better. But when I feel like there's something behind it, it's something that's just, you know, then you become defensive. I know I've accomplished a lot here. At this point, before I used to want to be reassured, but the longer I'm here, the more comfortable, you know, I know I've contributed. So thousands of just the French stewards I create.
This is me talking to my manager, asking what's going on. These people are so influenceable, so powerful, that they are recognized for being the biggest donors, one of the biggest donors of the Conservative Party. Now, can you imagine being put in the program by these people, and then you have this like progressive-looking individuals, which I know is a psyop. Tomorrow they can come all conservative, redneck, or whatever. All tomorrow it can be all black power thing. I understand they can create all psyops. But I'm not going to let them go. They live in any of the psyops. I'm going to put things back in perspective. These people put me in this program. These people are the reason why this is the name they don't like to say. They can say more or what, but the full name...
A food court. More. Moore even went to the mall to get into the holiday spirit. One woman recalls that she was 14 and working as Santa's helper at the Gadsden Mall in 1977 when Moore first spoke to her and told her she would look pretty. 2 years later, when she was 16, he asked her out on dates. He hit on one of Santa's elves. Well, a true evangelical, he's putting the Christ back in Christmas. Wow. And wow. It wasn't just the mall, folks. One Alabama journalist claims that Moore was also banned from the YMCA for his inappropriate behavior of soliciting sex from young girls. And don't forget, he did that while he was assistant.
As I was listening to that, like I said, they still want to be fierce. It's like, I wrote more. It's like this facade and psyops of cowards who wanted to live this fantasy. I refuse that. And that's the rage they're talking about. The rage that the reality is too much, that they want it to be presented in this way is not possible. And so that you're going to be raped, you're going to be tortured. First of all, we're going to frame you. We're going to have some childlike individuals say that you did something to them. They have been setting things up. I don't know what. I know my phone are completely hacked. I don't know what else is going on. But they make sure they warn me that, yes, we're going to say that you did something to some child. Every once in a while, when I'm making these videos, somebody comes like, I'm 13 years old. Like, I don't give a shit. When I'm making videos, I can hear the neighbors and a child saying, oh, you did this, I'm 13 years old, you raped me. I'm like, oh, you're going to sell your children for that? Oh my gosh, the blessing these kids are going to have. And this femme fatale's like, nah, it's gonna be IRS. We're gonna frame you like that. You bunch of low life bottom feeders. You can't even say this name. If I know that it's true, because when I say that in their face, it's like some kind of uncomfortableness. When I do that in the office, right? When I go to the office and I see them, I pretend like I'm on the phone. Say, hey, hi, Roy Moore, and I look at them. You see them just like one completely walked away, changed seats. Like, yeah, what happened to the femme fatale? Maybe you say when I can't hear it. The reason why this is something I bring up is because it brings up reality. They want to create this painted facade. There is a lot of deceptions. It's a life of this deceptions and false reality in order for you to accept this BS. Now, at this point, it's never going to happen. It's never going to be, I will never identify, I will never subscribe, none of these things. I know that I'm being manipulated. These people are so humiliated by reality. I'm bracing for the worst thing ever because of how they've been so humiliated. Can you imagine being involved in a program that you heard the horrible things they do to women and then try to present like, no, you pay for it. I haven't put you've heard in the past when I bring up what they do to children. You've heard the horrible things. Matter of fact, let's just say even something publicly. On October 25th or 26th, 2023, this happened.
Me last week. The New York Times. I'm Michael Navarro. This is the Daily. Today, the mass shooting that occurred in Maine last week, killing 18 people, was the country's deadliest of the year. It may also have been one of the most avoidable.
The largest mass shooting in this country, which happened in Maine, was a target individual who was pushed to kill 18 people. As a matter of fact, in his little journey before doing that, he had an encounter here in New York State. So this is the things these people are involved in. You understand the rage that one should have, knowing that this piece of shit in the level of cowardness they're living are involved in things like that, and they're here right now in sweatpants and little pages and like, now we at war. Cowards. And I know that what's going to happen to me. The reason why I prioritize making videos is because I understand when they put me in this program, when this employee put me in this program, was for one purpose, to destroy my life. So if I'm ever going to think about an individual responsible for my destruction, I'll always look at him. I have him on my phone right now. I'll always look at him. It will always be this person that I see on my phone. Not these bottom feeders who just, their job is to destroy people, even women and children. And then tell them, nah, it's a war. It's like there's some dumbass, some childlike retard. That's truly what they want you to believe. Like literally, they want you to believe that this is anything else but a mass government doing this thing to us.
They're into creating ranch spies, V2K. So they'll say, we're the Russian government, we're the Chinese government, we're evil aliens, we're Satan's, satanic ritual abuse. And I've heard all these stories. One guy believed it was some 14-year-old kid with an Xbox that lived next door. The trickery really is that great when you're under hypnosis, that people will believe something other than a massive government.
they come up with ways of wanting you to think, like, no, we are at war, you know what, this is different, we're different, you know, we try to protect. It's like, shut the fuck up. They're involved in a program where it's a research development it's a weapon development, where the goal is to maximize the ability of human mind control. That's why they tweak things around to see what way is better to manipulate somebody. It's about the ability to have complete human manipulation. And they use human subjects like me and other women and other men and women, a lot of women, where they do these horrible things, and children. And they employ trash like them who participate in the part of this tormenting aspect that patterns them. And to implement these tactics that breaks people down for the purpose of learning how to better manipulate human beings. Using this sophisticated technology that can do so much to you. It's super advanced. The manipulation I experience are disgusting. And then you have these people who try to disorient you, confuse you. Try to say, now we have already, and you know it's falsified. It's like, no, you're not. Tomorrow go home, drink, you're definitely not at war. Now, are you saying me at war? No, I'm not even at war myself. There's nothing I can do. I can only endure being a test subject. It's like me going to a lab, see guinea pigs, it's like, we are at war. No, the guinea pig is going to endure. We just going to implement what was the handbook. That's the reality. Now, what they're trying to do by saying that is to create this bubble of forgetting. Don't remember what we do to women and children. Look at us as this, like, you know, because they try to vilify you. They actually they try. I said that word purposely because people who are involved in that cannot vilify you. And so to get credibility, because you're gonna hear what they do to women and children, and the reality of things. They want you to, like, no, block it out. We're different. You know, it's our money. It's our money. We do this with our own material, our own money, and then we sell this to, like, coming up with some. No, you are given the tools, the funding, and everything else to implement what is tasked to you to do, and you're supposed to get the results that you're getting out of me. Those results, I'm sure they give you incentives to get those results. But you are doing this thing to me because you're involved in the same program that does this thing to women and children. You don't have the material. You don't have the resources. You don't even have the knowledge or expertise of none of that. You are just an employee. You're a tool. Tomorrow you go, somebody comes and replaces you. Because the government is running this program, you are just a bottom feeder working for those entities. You don't have a product that you're creating. You are creating torment. And that's the product that this governmental entity needs to be implemented on target individual. And so you are employed for that. You are nothing. Without you, this will go smoothly. Without everybody here, this will go smoothly the same way. New people come on. It doesn't take much. Some of these people doing this to me, done that to women and children. The government is running this show. This show is the handbooks, everything. It's by them. In my mind, they try to distance themselves. But one thing is for sure. They're making those campaigns to certain taxes become obsolete more and more. This is why on 2020, August 19, I stand with other TI and ensuring that I take I speak what I need to speak and say. This is happening to men, women, and children all around the world. And these people doing these things to me are doing these things to men, women, and children all around the world.
And I am a victim of organized stalking, electronic harassment, microwave torture, B2K abuse, and I'm asking you to help us end this crime against humanity, which has impacted men, women, children all around the world.
Hi, I'm Wan from Malaysia. My family are targeted individuals. We are victims of cyber torture, and I will not give up. I will fight to the end.
And I'm a victim of organized
We need this to
stalking,
stop.
electronic
That's it.
harassment, and I'm speaking to you on International Targeted Individual Day. I live in the U.S., in Illinois, and I'm a victim of organized
We need
stalking,
this to stop.
electronic
That's it.
harassment, microwave torture,
I've been targeted for 9 years.
24/7.
We've become more aware of this crime and those that the crime is being committed against. We need your support and help in ending this crime.
Hello, my name is Wendy Brown. I'm a targeted individual who is living in New Zealand, but my targeting began in California. I'm an American citizen, and the targeting continues in New Zealand. I'm making this video in remembrance of Targeted Individual Day.
You feel that you've been injustice. You mean as far as the Justice Department feeling me? Well, in terms of you being a victim. You mean what I'm feeling? Yeah. Explain a little bit to me how you perceive yourself as being. I have actual photographs of burns on my body. When I went to my doctor, the response was, how do I know you didn't do that to yourself? How do you even address that? I've passed 2 psychological evaluations. Not 1, but 2. The one physician said, you're mentally sound as a bell. He said, I don't have any idea what's going on with you. When I go to sleep, when I go to try to sleep, I feel like I'm being lit up like a Christmas tree. I feel every cell in my body just bouncing out of my body. I can't even describe it. I get electric shock of my rectum. I get electric shock of my nose. I've woken up with burns on the end of my tongue. I've had burns on the palms of both my hands. I vibrate. I can barely hold a piece of paper without quivering. Does that answer your question? I'm trying to find what's the source of these. The source of these exotic weapons. They talk about in 2970 that if you would pass it, it might give other communities the courage to do the same thing and show our Defense Department we are not the enemy. We are not to be attacked. We are not terrorists. Most of us are defenseless women.
Yeah, she called it out. The Defense Department. Because this is who's running the show. This bullshit psyops is just what they try to create to make you believe anything else but the reality. And they really are trying to get you to accept. For me, it's because they wanted me to be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm paying for it. No, I'm like this woman. This is what they're involved in. And then you have people like that who wants you to believe this fantasy. Some childlike individuals who want you to believe, no, we have nothing. This I'm delusional trash. Some fatal. It's delusionality. But I understand it's never going to happen. So when I see them, I know who's running the show. And these people who run the show, I have problem with pedophilia that's disturbing. And they utilize this technology to do this pedophilia type of torture, which is systematically done to many other target individuals. They have this system of doing things that is so synchronized with other testimonials. And for example, yesterday, if you will watch my last video, they tried to make me remember that when we were doing the sexual arousals, and the way they even changed that, and then tried to make me feel guilty for the things they were making me experience. And then want you to be like, you see, no, it's because you sexually aroused me. For me to be able to say this, it's because you sexually aroused me to the point of that. Delusional trash. And then, you know, this technology, because of the manipulation of your brain, they can create logic in your brain that just breaks you down. They truly are using logic that can be implanted in your brain. This is this technology this woman is talking about.
Sure. They coordinate the voices and thought manipulation with the physical torture. So 2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally,
So the control of thoughts is applied onto you. And so they can even create logic. And they want so bad to paint themselves. And I wish, unfortunately, I should take more pictures of the people who want to be dislikers. Because you should see. Immediately you know, you're obviously just a fucking bottom feeder in this program. That you're not, this is just a way to try to paint this BS storylines. The truth is you are involved in the same program that tortured children and women. You wanted me to think that, oh my gosh, look how angry they are. Oh, this woman, oh, she's so angry. Oh, I forgot what they do to women and children. Delusional shit. And the manipulations. This pedophilia type of torture. Then they try to make you accept, nah, it's you. Yesterday, you gotta listen to how, like, non-shameless, the level of shamelessness they have. It takes a level of minimizing your self-respect to a point that is no return. Listen, there's pride that can go too far. When you're too prideful, it's negative. But they have completely released all self-respect away. That they have no shame to even come up with ways of wanting you to think. In the fact that you hear childlike individuals show how little they give a shit anymore. Target individual, whatever sufferings we go through, this is why I say thank you, God. This trash they sold to pedophiles. These entities running this program have issues with pedophilia. They work day in and day out to make you think in these pedophilia ways. They're literally conditioning you in these disgusting ways. And they try to create these psyops that are so disturbing. Now, when I see somebody who's really a person who is perhaps a real woman fighting for the cause and right for women, truly, I don't trust them anymore because I've seen this low life involved in a program where they do these horrible things you just heard to women and still try to present themselves like this femme fatale. Femme fatale? You're a coward fatale. What they do to women is so nasty. And to even associate yourself with anything that does this thing is just disturbing. So now when I see somebody who's perhaps truly a person who is for the betterness of women, I don't trust anymore because of this trash who've been using this psyop involved in a program that does these horrible things to women. Then who use somebody's name, oh, for Brittany, you are here killing Cassandra Lewis, Leslie, Mariana, Eugenia, Wendy, Kina Jones, Wendy, Amanda Mindler. Those names of all these women. So you think I'm going to let you believe that you're involved in a program that does all these horrible things to women for Brittany? You damn it. But I know the reality. Because the defenseless women that are being fried to death, tortured to death, how many of them have killed themselves so far? Were just test subjects like just like me. So to all my target individual, I've talked about the manipulations. It's just disturbing, but you gotta be strong. Do not identify with any manipulation. This is what they need human being for this program, is because they torture us for the purpose of improving this technology that can manipulate your brain in so many ways. We're guinea pigs, the truth is, that's what we are to them. The rest is just psyop, some ways of just creating a fantasy. It's just like it's a way to it's a bubble of false reality that they want you to go with, but don't even waste your energy with that. Know that these governmental entities are working on technology that is this sophisticated, that can rewire your brain and manipulate you in ways you can't understand. The way they can make us experience things that's disgusting, and that's their job. They're truly conditioning you. You know, at one point, like, no, what we're doing, it's like we're mapping, watching you. That's your reaction, and then you see they have like these kids. They look at their phone when they do these things, or even adults doing that, and they look at their phone very seriously, like, oh my gosh, my phone, because I'm looking at my phone. That's true. That you're not being manipulated. Look how serious they're looking at their phone. That means these things is not happening.
It's what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. Like, it's disgusting.
He said thought of pedophilia. She said thought of pedophilia. And then they do this to you. And then they start looking at you. It's like, oh my gosh, we mined it. Look. Oh, we mapped it. Look. It's all games. And they want you to identify with whatever experience you're experiencing for the purpose of this program. Target individual, when you see people, and this is just men, women, children, whatever, doing these things, do not identify with this nastiness. Their job is to make you accept things that are being forced onto you. I've seen, like, they want to be seen as this one, and they're like, oh. Like, it's just clowns. So to all my target individual, you are dignified. You could have done this easy thing they do. It doesn't take much to do this. It's easy. Find yourself lucky that this easy thing they do comes at a price that they don't have, and they'll pay for it. It will come one way or another. In the meantime, show your dignity. I'm not perfect. Very far from perfection. Very, very far. But I know who I am. And this trash will never make me subscribe or identify with these manipulations. Whatever way they try to put things together, the reality has been so validating. It's beyond. So beyond. I mean, to even find out that the DOD is ranked like top tier regarding child pornography sharing, and it's just another level. It's just too much. That's what they say, we're gonna rage. Because what, you've been humiliated by reality? To all my target individual, stay strong.